Alrighty, Jesus 1. Israel fights the remaining Canaanites. After that, Joshua, the Israelites asked the Lord, who of us is to go up to fight against the Canaanites? The Lord answered, Judah shall go up, I have given the land in their hands. The men of Judah then said to the Simeonites, their fellow Israelites, come up with us into the territory allotted to us and fight against the Canaanites. We in turn will go with you into yours. So the Simeonites went with them. When Judah attacked, the Lord gave the Canaanites and Perizzites into their hands, and they struck down 10,000 men at Bezek. It was there that they found Adoni-Bezek and fought against him, putting to rout the Canaanites and Perizzites. Adoni-Bezek fled, but they chased him and caught him, and cut off his thumbs and big toes. Holy shit. When Adoni-Bezek said 70 kings with their thumbs and big toes cut off have picked up scraps under my table, now God has paid me back for what I did to them. They brought him to Jerusalem and he died there. What the fuck? Who is Adoni-Bezek? What? They brought him to Jerusalem, yeah? The men of Judah attacked Jerusalem also and took it. They put the city to the sword and set it on fire. After Judah went down to fight against the Canaanites. Okay, so Judah is the big boss. Against the Canaanites living in the hill country, the Negev and the western foothills, they advanced against the Canaanites living in Hebron, formerly called Kiryat Arba, and defeated Sheshai, Ahiman, and Talmai. From there they advanced against the people living in Debir, formerly called Kiryat Sepher, and Caleb said, I'll give you my daughter Akshan in marriage to the man who attacks and captures Kiryat Sheper. Othniel, son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother, took it, so Caleb gave his daughter Aksach to him in marriage. One day when she came to Othniel, she urged him to ask her father for a field. When she got off her donkey, Caleb asked her, what can I do for you? She replied, do me a special favor, since you have given me land in the Negev. Give me also springs of water. So Caleb gave her the upper and lower springs. The descendants of Moses' father-in-law, the Kenite, went up from the city of Palms with the people of Judah to live among the inhabitants of the desert of Judah in the Negev near Arad. Oh, what the fuck happened now? They captured someone, they cut his fingers and toes, and when Judah went down to fight against the Canaanites living in the Hill and the Negev in the western foothills, they advanced towards the Canaanites living in Hebron, formerly called, and defeated something. From there, they advanced against the people living in Debir, formerly called something. Okay, so Caleb, give my daughter Kiryat Sekeb. Okay. And she must feel what she got off a donkey. What can I do for you? She replied, do me a special favor, since you have given me land in the Negev. Give me also springs of water. So I gave her the upper and lower springs. The descendants of Moses' father-in-law, the Kenite, went up from the city of Palms with the people of Judah to live among the inhabitants of the desert of Judah in the Negev near Arad. Then the men of Judah went with the Simeonites, their fellow Israelites, and attacked the Canaanites living in Zephat, and they totally destroyed the city. Therefore it was called Hormah. Judah also took it. Judah also took Gaza, Ashkelon, and Ekron, each city with its territory. The Lord was with the men of Judah. They took possession of the hill country, but they were unable to drive the people from the plains because they had chariots filled with iron. as Moses had promised. Hebron was given to Caleb, who drove from it the 3 sons of Anak. The Benjamites, however, did not drive out the Jebusites who were living in Jerusalem. To this day, the Jebusites live there with the Benjamites. Now the tribes of Joseph, attacked Bethel, and the Lord was with them. When they sent men to spy out Bethel, formerly called Luz, the spies saw a man coming out of the city, and they said to him, "Show us how to get into the city, and we will see that you are treated well." So he showed them, and they put the city to the sword, but spared the man and his whole family. Spared. He then went to the land of the Hittites, where he built a city and called it Luz, with its name is to the day. What? So you snitch on your people. Some other people kill your people to spare you, and you go and make a. You make a city. What the fuck? But Manasseh did not drive out the people of Beth Shan or Tanak or Dor or Iblim or Megiddo and their surrounding settlements, or the Canaanites, for the Canaanites were determined to live in the land. When Israel became strong, they pressed the Canaanites into forced labor, but never drove them out completely, nor did Ephraim give out the Canaanites living in Gezer, but the Canaanites continued to live there among them. There did Zebulun drive out the Canaanites living in Kitron and Nahalol. So these Canaanites lived among them, but Zebul did subject them to forced labor, nor did Asher drive out the living in Akko, out those living in Akko or Sidon, or Achlap, or Akzib, or Helbach, or Abhek, or Ribhob. The Asherites lived among the Canaanite inhabitants of the land, because they did not drive them out. Neither did Naphtali drive out those living in Bet Shemesh or Bet Anat, but the Naphtalites too lived among the Canaanite inhabitants out the land, and those living in Bet Shemesh and Bet Anat became forced laborers for them. Because the Amorites confined the Danites to the hill country, not allowing them to come down into the plain, and the Amorites were determined also to hold out in Mount Heres, Ajalon, and Shaubim. But when the power of the tribes of Joseph increased, they too were pressed into forced labor. The boundary of the Amorites was from Scorpion Pass to Sewa and beyond. So we just snatched some villages and now we put people into forced labor. Respect. The angel of the Lord had become. I haven't seen an angel in a while. The angel of the Lord went up from Gilgal to Bochim and said, I brought you up from out of Egypt and led you into the land I swore to give to your ancestors. I said, I will never break my covenant with you, and you shall not make a covenant with the people of this land, but you shall break down their altars. Yet you have disobeyed me. Why have you done this? And I have also said, I will not drive them out before you. They will become traps for you, and their gods will become snares for you. When the angel of the Lord had spoken these things to the Israelites, the people wept around, and they called that place Bochim, because they offered sacrifices to the Lord. Disobedience and defeat. After Joshua had dismissed the Israelites, they went to take possession of the land, each to their own inheritance. The people served the Lord throughout the lifetime of Joshua, and of the elders who outlived him, and who had seen all the great things the Lord had done for Israel. Joshua, son of Nun, the servant Lord, died at the age of 110, and they buried him in the land of his inheritance at Timnath Heres, in the hill country of Ephraim, north of Mount Gash. After the whole generation had been gathered to their ancestors, another generation grew up who knew neither the Lord nor what he had done for Israel. Then the Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord and served the Baals. They forsook the Lord, the God of their ancestors, who had brought them out of Egypt. They had fallen. They worshipped various gods of the peoples around them. They aroused the Lord's anger because they forsook Him and served Baal and the Ashtoreths. Okay, man, are you stupid? Are the Israel people stupid? How can you keep disobeying the God, man? Like, are you an animal or some shit? Do you have to be punished constantly to know your place? Like, fuck off, listen to your ancestors. And what are the ancestors doing? Did they not teach the people what had happened? So you need to do this? No, like, what the fuck? His anger against Israel, the Lord gave them. In his anger against Israel, the Lord gave them into the hands of raiders who plundered them. He sold them into the hands of their enemies all around, whom they were no longer able to resist. Whenever Israel went out to fight the land of the Lord, the hand of the Lord was against them to defeat them, just as He had sworn to them. They were in great distress. Then the Lord raised up judges who saved them out of the hand of the raiders, yet they would not listen to their judges, but prostituted themselves to other gods and worshipped them. They quickly turned from the ways of their ancestors, who had been obedient to the Lord's commands. Whenever the Lord raised up to judge for them, He was with the judge and saved them out of the hands of their enemies as long as the judge lived. But for the Lord relented because of their groaning under those oppressed and affected. But when the judge died, the people returned to ways even more corrupt than those of their ancestors, following other gods and serving and worshipping them. They refused to give up their evil practices and stubborn ways. Therefore the Lord was very angry with Israel and said, because this nation has violated the covenant I ordained for their ancestors and has not listened to me, I will no longer drive out before them any of the nations Joshua left when he died. I will use them to test Israel and see whether they keep up the way of the Lord and walk in as their ancestors did. The Lord had allowed those nations to remain. He did not drive them out once by giving them into the hands of Joshua. These are the nations the Lord left to test all those Israelites who had not experienced any of the wars in Canaan. He did this only to reach warfare to the descendants of the Israelites who had not had previous battle experience. The 5 rulers of the Philistines, all the Canaanites, the Sidonians, and the Hivites living in the Lebanon mountains from Mount Baal Hermon to Lebo Hamat. They were left to test the Israelites to see whether they would obey the Lord's commands which He had given their ancestors through Moses. The Israelites lived among the Canaanites, Hittites, Amorites, Perizzites, Hivites, and Jebusites. They took the daughters in marriage and gave their own daughter to their sons and served their gods. Othniel. The Israelites did evil in the eyes of the Lord. They forgot the Lord their God and served the Baals and the Asherahs. The anger of the Lord burned against Israel, so that He sold them into the hands of Cushan Rishathaim, king of Aram Naharaim, to whom the Israelites were subjects for 8 years. But when they cried out to the Lord, let's see what sold means. Give something in exchange for money. Okay. Oh, if you sell something, don't you get something in return? Money or like barter? If it's barter, it's like not money, but monetary value or some shit. My question would be, and here, my question would be, right? The question is, what did God get in return for the Jews? How did He sell them? Did He sell them out? Like, what did He raised? But when they cried out to the Lord, He raised up from them a deliverer, Othniel son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother, who saved them. The Spirit of the Lord came on him, so that he became Israel's judge, and went to war. The Lord gave Cushan Rishathaim, king of Aram, into the hands of Neo, who overpowered him, so the land had peace for 40 years until Otin, son of Kenaz, died. The hands of Otio, who overpowered him. Ehud, against the Israelites, did evil things in the eyes of the Lord, and because they had did evil things in the eyes of the Lord, gave Aaron king and more power over Israel, getting the Lord gave Eglon king and Moab power over Israel, getting the Ammonites and Amalekites to join him. Eglon came and attacked Israel, and they took possession of the city of palms. The Israelites were subject to the Eglon king of Moab for 18 years. Again, the Israelites cried out to the Lord, and he gave them a deliverer, Ehud, and left-handed man, the son of Gera, the Benjamin. The Israelites sent him with tribute to Eglon king of Moab. Now Ehud made people a double-edged sword about a cubit long, which he strapped to his right thigh under his clothing. He presented the tribute to Eglon king of Moab, who was a very fat man. After Ehud had presented the tribute, he sent on their way those who had carried it. But on reaching stone images near Gibal, he himself went back to Gibal and said, "Your Majesty, I have a secret message for you." The king said to the tenants, "Leave us," and they all left. Ehud then approached him while he was sitting alone in the upper room of his palace and said, "I have a message from God to you." As the king rose from his seat, Ehud reached with his left hand, drew the sword from his right thigh and plunged it into the king's belly. Even the handle sank in after the blade, and his bowels discharged. Ehud did not pull the sword out, and the fat closed it in over it. Then Ehud went out to the porch. He shut the doors of the upper room behind him and locked them. After he had gone, the servants came and found the doors of the upper room locked. They said he must be relieving himself in the room of the palace. They waited to the point of embarrassment, but when he did not open the doors of the room, they took a key and unlocked it. Then I saw their lord fallen to the floor dead. While they waited, Ehud got away. He passed by the stone images and escaped to Serach. When he arrived there, he blew a trumpet in the hill country of Ephraim, and the Israelites went down with him from the hills, with him leading them. "Follow me," he ordered, "for the Lord has given Moab, your enemy, into your hands." So they followed him down and took possession of the ford of the Jordan that led to Moab. They had no one to cross over. At that time they struck down about 10,000 Moabites, all vigorous and strong. Not one escaped. That day Moab was made subject to Israel, and the land had peace for 8 years. After Ehud came Shamgar, son of Anat, who struck down 600 Philistines with an ox goad. He too saved Israel. So with the wooden 2 you killed what? 600. Okay. Motherfucker, whatever. Again, the Israelites did evil things as the Lord, now that Ehud was dead. Why are you keep doing this? Why do you keep doing the evil things, man? So the Lord sold them into the hands of Jabin, king of Canaan, who reigned in Hazor. Sisera, the commander of his army, was based in Hiroshet Hogogim. Before he had 900 chariots fitted with iron and had cruelly oppressed the Israelites for 20 years. They cried to the Lord for help. Now Deborah, a prophet, the wife of Lepidoch, was leading Israel at the time. She led court under the palm of Deborah, under Ramah and Bethel in the hill country of Ephraim, and the Israelites went up to her to have their dispute decided. She sent for Barak, son of Abinoam, from Kadesh in Naphtali, and said to him, "The Lord, the God of Israel, commands you, go take with you 10,000 men of Nebhati and Zebulun, and lead them up to Mount Tabor. I will lead Sisera, the commander of the Javan army, with his chariots, and his troops to the Kishon River and give him into your hands." Barak said to her, "If you go with me, I will go, but if you don't go with me, I won't go." "Certainly, I will go with you," said Deborah, "but because of the course you're taking, the honor will not be yours, for the Lord to deliver Sisera into the hands of a woman." So Deborah went with Barak to Kadesh. There Barak summoned Zebulun and Naphtali, and 10,000 men went up under his command. Deborah also went up with him. I'm gonna finish here. Judges 4:9. I finish. Actually, I started 11 actually. I think it's sat. Sure, why the fuck not? I can't believe I got 16 views though. Holy fucking shit. Or whatever. Good stuff, that would be about it. And right now I am done. GG. I might do something some later during the night, maybe another video.